People have asked me this already. Where did you end up getting most of this stuff? Did you buy it from antiquities or
antiquities dealers? The more important artifacts were purchased through antiquities dealers. And I started off spending $100 on a little oil lamp, and and then I'm getting a Roman helmet for really much more expensive. But I started to gradually develop this idea for a museum. Now you got to protect it, and then so I ended up just kind of getting stuck. The stuff is in big vaults in a garage, and I thought, okay, it's just sitting there. It needs to be properly cared for and put in view of the public.
We had this little running debate about what to label this place.
Yeah,
I still think it ought to be. I still think it ought to be called the Foster
No.
Stanback
Look at that Clayton Museum. It's perfect.
But you know what I've said to people on this is that there's two aspects to this. Number one is the collector. That's you. That's the most important thing in making this possible. Number two is that we're saying to the community, my Christian birth is important, and I want to remember people and remember the date, because after all, my spiritual birth is for eternity, and my physical birth, which we pay a lot of attention to, is just on this earth.
Yeah.
And so my name is on there not because I had anything to do with the collection.
Well, none of this would have happened without you, John. So I grew up in a family that was not religious at all.
Yeah, like me.
I was kind of an agnostic, probably atheist before, then more of an agnostic. And when I arrived at the University of Colorado, I was in more of a searching mode, looking for God and had a lot of questions. And I remember seeing these paper signs up around campus. Come hear a former atheist talk about God, and it's called "Does God Exist?" And I thought, well, that sounds interesting. And these are kind of the questions I'm asking, and maybe I'll go to that instead of the beer party they're going to have that same night. But it was a real debate. I waffled there, but finally I said, no, I'm going to do the right thing, and I'm going to. And I had to wander around campus to find this University of Colorado Boulder campus. It was in the University Memorial Center. And I remember going in there, I was a little late, and I sat in the back. I didn't want to talk to anybody. And here's this guy up there. You had your Kodak carousel thing with these slides, and you'd run from your from that to the overhead. Now let me show you that, and then I thought, wait a minute, this is church for me was pomp and ceremony, and you don't really talk about anything relevant or why you can believe, and I was just amazed. You're talking about relativity, and and then you had the question and answer session, and you had all of these professors from the University of Colorado, and they're asking these questions. I think, how's he going to deal with that? And you say, oh yeah, let me show you here, and you start writing stuff out on the overhead projector, and these guys were silenced, and I thought, wow, this is really amazing, because I never knew that there were real reasons why you could believe that belief in God, that science can point us toward God, because there's so much evidence of design which indicates there's some kind of an engineer behind all this. This didn't just get thrown together randomly. So anyway, it was a big moment in my life, and then from that point onward I studied the Bible and became a Christian, and I thought, one day I want to do what John Clayton does. But it was your vision and what you were doing, and some young crazy guy's desire to kind of imitate it, and that's how all this came about. So I think it's very appropriate that your name is on this museum.
When John Oakes was here this summer, when we had the evidence apologetic seminar that was here, in the Q&A, somebody asked me what my legacy was, and I said my legacy is Foster Stanback and John Oakes and Doug Jacoby, who are doing so much better than I could do, know so much more, are so much more creative, and can do so much more than I could ever do. And it really is true. This is going to be an incredible tool, and I just appreciate what you've done with it. I'm honored to be even a distant part of it.